My name is Eugene Myrick, and I'm a candidate for Brooklyn Borough President. It's time for us to stand up to the politicians who are so obsessed with power that they have taken it upon themselves to change term limits. This defiance by Mayor Bloomberg and members of the City Council goes against what we, the people, have voted for not once but twice. No politician or group of politicians should ever have the authority to overturn the will of the people. With more than 2.5 million residents living in Brooklyn, it's time for us to stop giving our votes to politicians who do not respect them. If Brooklyn were an independent city, we would be the fourth largest city in the entire country. And unfortunately, in just 2007, the United States Census Bureau has reported that 24% of Brooklyn residents are living in poverty. 24%. And we have a mayor who's a billionaire, and he's buying advertisements suggesting that we do not feed the homeless, as if they're animals. And still, our current borough president, Marty Markowitz, continues to support this mayor. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that Bloomberg has given over $2 million of our tax dollars to Markowitz's personal nonprofit organization. Bloomberg has made it clear he's not going to use economic stimulus funds to provide food stamps for families that need them. He also said that he would lay off 14,000 teachers, of all people, to balance the budget. But in the same breath, our billionaire mayor says he wants to use $45 million of our tax dollars to retrain investment bankers, traders, and others who have lost their jobs from Wall Street. He went on to say that he wants to provide them with seed money and office space for new business ventures. The only jobs our billionaire mayor plans on creating or saving are those of his Wall Street buddies. Maybe this explains why, although the economy is bad, Forbes magazine has just reported that Bloomberg's personal wealth has been increased by $5 billion over the last year.
There was some good news on the horizon for Mayor Mike Bloomberg, since he was the only person in the top 20 to see his net worth increase. He's now valued at $16 billion, up from $11 billion last year.
Then we have our current borough president, Marty Markowitz. Mayor Bloomberg isn't the only billionaire that he's fascinated with. Markowitz wants to use economic stimulus funds to help Bruce Ratner build an arena and 16 skyscrapers 55 stories high in downtown Brooklyn. These guys want to create congestion and then charge us for congestion pricing. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that Ratner has given approximately $1 million to Markowitz's personal nonprofit organization. Arenas and skyscrapers is what they're concerned with, while more and more children from Brooklyn are now using trailers as classrooms. Over the last few years, more than 90 New York City public schools have been shut down, my former high school, Thomas Jefferson, included. They've basically been replaced by business propositions posing as charter schools. Now, I'm not against charters, but I am against shutting down public schools and replacing them with charters. If Mayor Bloomberg and School Chancellor Klein, neither of whom have a background in education, if they want to better the public school system, then I say improve it. Start building new facilities, reducing class size, and give our children something other than standardized tests. As it stands right now, our children in elementary schools are only getting 4 days worth of education per week. They spend 90 minutes every single day practicing for a state exam. That's more than 7 hours per week without science, math, social studies, physical education, art, and the performing arts. As parents, we should all be outraged because these are our children that are missing out on a day of education. It would have been helpful had Bloomberg, Klein, and Markowitz converted the building that used to house the Board of Education into a new school. But the city cut ties with that Brooklyn building and is now 110 Livingston luxury condominiums. But again, this is typical when you have leadership at the top like our billionaire mayor who has no true connection to this city other than Wall Street. I personally welcome our new neighbors to Brooklyn, but I know we could have used a new school, even charter schools, and we definitely could use more affordable housing. These days, so many politicians talk about the middle class, but they hardly ever talk about low-income neighborhoods. Although low-income neighborhoods need more resources, the only thing that has increased is the number of people who get stopped and searched by the police. Now, if Mayor Bloomberg and Police Commissioner Kelly want to keep drugs and guns off the streets of Brooklyn, they should stop them from entering the city in the first place. As far as I know, we do not have any gun factories in Brooklyn, and you cannot grow cocaine from concrete. Now, I do understand that under the Bloomberg administration, the NYPD has been reduced by 5,000 officers, so they have to come up with some new tactics. But treating everyone like a criminal is not the answer, and it's building resentment in black and brown communities. As someone who has several family members and close friends working on various forms of law enforcement, I understand. And as someone who has several family members and close friends who have been stopped and searched by police, I understand from that point of view as well. But again, we have to work on something to improve the relationship between the NYPD and our communities, because what's going on right now is not the answer. Finally, I'm running for Brooklyn Borough President because I'm tired of the greedy developers who will tear down one home and replace it with 2 and 3 multi-family dwellings. I'm done sitting back and watching while city land and resources are turned over to billionaire developers and the billionaire owners of the Yankees, Mets, and Nets. Other than stadiums, the only new development I see taking place in this city are storage facilities, jails, and so-called luxury condominiums. For years, I've sat back and waited for some politician to step up to the plate and cater to all of Brooklyn, and it has not happened. There are neighborhoods that have been left out here to fend for themselves. Then I heard President Barack Obama say something very simple. He said, "We are the ones we've been waiting for." And he's right. Therefore, I will no longer give my vote to politicians who do not respect me and do not respect my vote for term limits. As Brooklyn Borough President, I'll have a staff that's proactive instead of reactive, and we'll stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. And this includes the elderly, the mentally ill, and low-income families. I don't care how much money any politician or any lobbying group has. To take a few words from that famous Brooklynite Shirley Chisholm, I will be unbought and unbossed. Now, I know running for Brooklyn Borough President is not going to be easy. You have to get thousands of signatures and raise thousands of dollars. I'm up for it. Hopefully, you'll be willing to join me, because Brooklyn does not belong to the greedy developers, and it does not belong to the obsessed politicians. It belongs to the people. So again, my name is Eugene Myrick, and to find out more about me and this campaign, simply log on to the website, takebrooklynback.com. That's takebrooklynback.com.